Anturma chaya no Camaru Anuri, no Camai, no Camwaka, na Anuri, no Yuyuá, na Warron Chinambo, Panque, Tuxinan, Chaval aqui, Chinamo Kikirani, Tsai, Chavakirani, Tsai, Makikirani. Awama Wanana, no Mahu no Wai Sharai.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, Bahashem, meaning in the name, Yahweh Shai, meaning He is our salvation, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus a so-called black man. With summons a shaman. With, which is an acronym, for these elite get-together gatherings, they summon a shaman, I suppose, for, fortune and what have you for their, future endeavors, okay? And we're going to go into that, we're going to look up that word shaman and see what it means, because you seeing the things that they had, that they keep behind closed doors but are making privy to the public, in these latter days. So you seeing what's been going on behind closed doors for the longest. They just put it out there and, they just put it out there on forefront right now for the public to, consume. So these are the things they be doing behind closed doors and have been doing behind closed doors, is summoning these shamans, and, having these rituals. All right. This is Ephesians 6:12. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." And these is what these, wicked rulers of this world do. They, summon these shamans, and they, put these spells that they may have, fortune with their endeavors, and what the endeavors entail, bringing about their new world agenda, okay? So you seeing these wicked elites, being exposed, in their eyes, they think it's for the best, but, they truly being exposed for who they are, okay? And what does the Bible say about those with familiar spirits, all right? Because this isn't going to be going on in the kingdom. This is why we're going to have to put these other nations under subjectivity, because they have these type of seances and rituals, okay? And we're going to get that also in the Bible, all right? So this is just everything being, brought to the light in these last days. So you see this shaman lady, putting these vibrations, these spirits onto these elites, okay? Now this is St. Luke 8 and verse 17. This is Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, "For nothing is secret that should not be made manifest, neither anything hid that should not be known to come abroad." So he's making things that were hid once with these, secret elites, societies. He's making them bring them forth in these last days, because they know, pursuant to prophecy, that they don't have much time left. So they like, what the hell? We might as well go ahead and show the world what we've been doing for the longest. The gig is up. So here it is. They summon this shaman lady, to cast spells and put them on the individuals so that they may have, prosperity, or what they believe to be prosperity, and bringing about their, new world agenda. Okay. So these are the things that's been going on behind closed doors for the longest. But now, they know they have but such a little time pursuant to Revelation 12 and 12. And now they just saying, the heck with it. Okay. The gig is up. Everybody already know Esau is being exposed for who he is. We have no more, no more shield to hide behind. All right. So they just coming out with it forthright. All right. Now this is what according to the Bible, you're supposed to do with those that, dabble in familiar spirits. This is Leviticus 20 in verse 27. It says, a man also or woman that have familiar spirit or that is a wizard shall surely be put to death. They shall stone them with stones. Their blood shall be upon them. Right. So going into the kingdom, if these other nations revert back to these ways, these is going to be the judgments that's going to be brought out forth on them. Okay. Once they go in subjectivity and they go and, break the laws, this is the judgments that's going to be brought forth to them. Okay. These are their punishments because they're not going to be, with that perfect law inside them. So they're going to be subject to go off. Okay. So these things that they do, these are the consequences that's going to be, brought forth. All right. They're going to be subjugated for 1,000 years and they're going to be allowed to go back to their land. And if they're caught, summoning familiar spirits, the judgments is going, pursue accordingly. Okay. Now let's go into that word shaman and see exactly what it is. Give me 1 second to pull it up.
Shaman.
And it says a person regarded as having access to and influence in the world of good and evil spirits, especially among some people of Northern Asia and North America. Typically, such people enter a trance state during a ritual and practice divination and healing. Okay? And that's what you seen was a ritual right before your very own eyes. Okay? Practicing what? Divination and healing. Okay? These are familiar spirits. And these are what these people have been doing for the longest. They showing you who they worship. Okay? We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but what? Let's go back and read that. And then go to the next verse. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood. This is back in Ephesians 6 and verse 12. But against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And what are these high places? These secret councils. Let's go there. This is Psalm 64 and verse 2. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Okay? And we just seen what sin is. We're just seeing what sin that they are committing, because we know sin is transgression against the law. Okay? And by, summoning these, familiar spirits in the form of this shaman lady, they are what? They are workers of iniquity, and they've been doing this for years on years. So that all this sin has been piling up and compiling together to form this iniquity. Okay? So that's why we know that this is the last days. This is why we need to, come closer to this truth and continue to stay in it so that we be, guided and hedged from all this pandemonium that's getting ready to pursue. So it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Okay? And this is what you see going on. And this is what you haven't seen going on for the longest. This is what they do behind closed doors in these secret councils, these think tanks these forums like this right here that we seen. Okay? It says they encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares privately they say, who shall see them? Okay, this is the mindset that they have had for the longest. But now knowing that they're in their latter days, the end of their run, they just coming forth out with it and showing you. Okay? Jumping up a verse to 4, it says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. Right, they don't have no fear of showing you what they've been doing. They know their kingdom, their rulership is coming to an end. So they putting it on, front street for the whole world to see. Going down to 6, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. And this is what they do. They search out deep, they search out, it says they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. They see how they can, consume the children of Israel, how they can, keep them in sin to, keep their rulership and their power, at hand. But now that this truth is going out high volume and it isn't working anymore, they know the gig is up. So they just coming forth out with it. All right. It says, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. And that's what he's using, his truth, to shoot at them with the arrow. Okay. And they being wounded, and they know their time is up. This is why they coming out with it. They are, seeing that there's a high probability, a hypothetical situation that there's a new pestilent X, and that it could be 20 times deadlier than the last pestilence we had back in 2020. These are the things that they project and seek out in their iniquity, doing their due diligence. Okay, they want to shape the world for the next 10, 15 years, and this is what they do behind closed doors, but they bringing it forth up outright in the front now that we in these latter days, pursuant to St. Luke the 8th chapter, the 17th verse. Nothing is secret that should not be made manifest, neither anything hid that should not be known to come abroad. Okay, verse 8 says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Right, so you have their own people known as whistleblowers and so on, telling on them, exposing them, showing you these videos, okay? Putting it out there, letting you know exactly who the wicked is. They can't hide behind these guidelines of, humanitarian anymore. All these different, deceivable things that they use to prop themselves up in a light that can be perceived on the world stage as, being some outright holy righteous person. No, they're being exposed. Okay? It says, and 9 says, and all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. Right, and the elect will wisely consider of the Most High's doing, because he's seeing the, words of these prophecies being fulfilled in these latter days, these last days of this man's rulership. Verse 10 says, the righteous shall be glad in Yahweh and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. Right, and we're glorying, and we're hastening on the day that this kingdom end and ours begin. We're hastening for Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah to bring this place to end. Okay, so yeah, you seen the wealth summoning a shaman. Okay, and this is what they've been doing. They just brought it out for you to see in these last days. All right, so let's close out in 1 Peter 5 and 8, and let's go from there. This is 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8, and it reads, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And he's constantly, meddling in these, sinful acts, all right? This is what he does. He searches out his iniquity. He searches out iniquity diligently, all right? And he fools the mass to believe whatever it is that he's saying. Okay? And that's why we have to be sober and be vigilant in these last days, okay? Because things are going to only ramp up from this, all right? So just be mindful of the times that we living in, okay? And, stay prayed up, stay in this truth, continue to, endure, all right? So that you be found worthy. So with that being said, I pray someone was edified through this lesson. Until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom.